Today's the day. I am sharing all my hair hacks. We've got heatless curls, we've got DIY dry shampoo, bald spot eraser, how to fake a blowout, how to fake bigger eyes with eyelash hacks, brows, how to tone your color at home, all of the things that I normally only recommend to my friends because I'm not a beauty blogger. But today I'm being very beauty bloggery. I'm putting it all in a nicely packaged video for you. Oh man, you guys, I'm so excited about this video because this really is all of the little things that I normally just like share with my friends. But I'm gonna put them all in a video today because some of them are so useful. They either save me a ton of time or a ton of money, or they just trial and error, like last in a way that nothing else does. There's a couple of eyelash hacks that are just like, I've done them forever, and every time I share them with friends, they're like, what? But I'm super stoked. This stuff is really, really helpful and it really works. So that's awesome. All right, so for our first one, we are oddly gonna start with like the opposite of hair. Hairless, hair removal. We're gonna start with something that is my favorite. Today's sponsor, it's my little Kenzie. I love this little sucker. You probably saw a couple months ago, I did a whole video on it. I really, really love it. Basically, Kenzie is an IPL handset. IPL stands for Intense Pulse Light Therapy. And IPL is used in salons and dermatologist office, not only for hair removal, but also for all sorts of beauty anti-aging elements, like removing dark spots and increasing collagen and reducing wrinkles. Photofacials, they're called IPL photofacials, are really, really expensive, but they are effective, which is awesome as a way to target some of that dark pigmentation. But the reason that I like the Kenzie so much is the handset is $229. I do have a promo code down below. It's going to take $50 off, so it's only going to be $179. And for $179, you have the unit forever, which means whenever you want to do touch-ups, whether it's on your hair removal, on your skin resurfacing, all that stuff, you just have the unit. Like, you have it forever. Like I said, I did a full video, but this is kind of the Cliff Notes version. Basically, what IPL does is it scatters light under the skin surface, and it's kind of on the hunt for pigment. So it's either gonna find pigment, which could be your hair, right? Or it could be those dark spots. If you have light skin and blonde hair, you might not get as good of results with this. The darker your hair, the more this little guy finds the pigment and zaps the pigment. Another thing, after having used it for a few months now, probably, I don't know, it's been like 5 months, consistency is key. I use it at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. Now, the consistency is really key because it's gonna start to slow down the hair growth, and over time that hair is not gonna come back. It comes with a plug which is super long. I have it plugged in all the way on the other side of my bedroom. That's it, no battery, which I really like. On the back, you'll see a little flashing light. When you press the light, you can hear it kind of powers on. That turns it on. That light also is what you will press to change your power level. So you can see it's going all the way up. I use it on the highest power level. I'm comfortable with that. I don't find it painful at all. The only thing you'll notice is that it does get hot, but basically all you're gonna do is make sure that it's flush with your skin. Don't push, just make sure it's flush with your skin and press. You can keep going, press. Another option is holding it down. And I think once you hold it for about 3 or 4 times, it will stay going. So now I can remove my hand and it keeps going. The size of the window is really large, which I really like. A good hack for being able to do like more focused targeting. Like for example, I had a dark spot on my nose that I used this to remove. It was really hard to get this entire let me turn it off. It was really hard to get this entire thing flush with my nose because it was like right here in the corner. So part of the window was off, which meant it wasn't flush and the light wouldn't go off. So what I did is I like used my finger to block half of it, and then I could kind of go like this. But basically that's it. This little guy is so great. It's so easy to use. It's so affordable when you compare it to getting all of these treatments. So instead of spending all of those separate things, which right now you might not even be able to go do anyway because of the shutdown, you can have this guy at home. You can use it whenever you want, and it just takes a few minutes. So this is my favorite. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. I want to show you guys a couple of really amazing eyebrow and eyelash hacks. This is how I always do my makeup. So this is what they look like without anything, just as they are. First thing I always do is brush them up so that I can make them already look fuller just by brushing them up. The next thing is kind of the hack here, and that's using a highlighter pencil to actually outline and create the shape of your eyebrows. What it'll end up doing is the way that the highlights play with shadow, it's gonna make anything inside of this line look like your eyebrows. It's gonna make it look darker just because the comparison of light to dark. The sort of chubby crayon-like highlighter stick is a lot easier to use than if you were trying to use like a precision dark brow pencil to fill it in. So by doing this, it creates this shape that automatically makes them look a little bit bigger and easier to fill in. Now, this is the next part. This, you don't need this product, but I do really like this Benefit Gimme Brow because it's a tiny little spoolie that has like a waxy pigment on it. Not only does it shape your brows and waxy kind of keep them in place, but it coats each eyebrow just like mascara. So it makes each one look thicker and darker, and it coats the skin behind it so that it actually makes your eyebrows look bigger. They don't look defined and sculpted, they just look twice as big and full. Next up, we're gonna do eyelashes. Look how much bigger the eye on the right looks. It is not only mascara, it's two important hacks that actually make this happen. So let's get started. First of all, do your mascara like you normally would. Any mascara that you like will work. I'll link this one down below. It's like a cheap Maybelline situation. But basically just do your mascara, take your time, and wiggle. Now, hack number one is the lower lashes. It's really hard to get those lower lashes fully coated in a natural way without clumping them up. So my hack for it is close your eye and like grab the lower lashes into the upper lashes. It's basically like you are fully coating them, and from root to tip, they get coated, as opposed to using the edge of your mascara wand, which kind of clumps up this heavy amount. Next one is using an eyelash curler and a blow dryer after your mascara has dried. I know most people like to curl their lashes before. This is my hack. You're gonna heat it up, touch it to your cheek until it feels warm. Wait, you do not want it to be hot or you could burn yourself, so touch it to your cheek. Half press down to make sure that all the lashes look like they're angling up in the right way. If they look good, then squeeze and pump like 5 times, hold, pump again, and release. By doing this after your mascara has totally dried, it makes it last all day. It's almost like if you had hairspray on a piece of hair and then curled it. It sort of stays like crunchy like that. I use my fingers to feather them out, but literally, you guys, it will stay this lifted and open all day. It's amazing. Okay, next up, I'm gonna show you how to go from this greasy, disgusting hair to this fluffy, voluminous, amazing hair with DIY dry shampoo that costs pennies. Cornstarch and baking soda, and if you have dark hair like me, cocoa powder. Now, all of these ingredients are really good for your hair and really good for your scalp. So this makes not only a really cost-effective dry shampoo, but something that's actually good for your hair. My hair gets really greasy really fast. It's super gross. I am not someone who likes dirty hair at all. So all I did is I mixed these ingredients into like an old seasoning that had that I'd finished. I cleaned it out and just mixed everything inside. You're gonna put this on your hair just like you would dry shampoo, but I do recommend actually investing in like a container that's meant for this, like to put in powder. It'll make it easier to control. So once you get it in your hair, just massage it in your hair like normal. I did one amount and I was like, I need a little more. So I put in a little bit more, and what I ended up with was this incredibly like fluffy, thick hair. I didn't have any powder or residue that looked like I had dry shampoo. My hair just looked like voluminous. I don't know, it almost looked like I had put a really cool product in it. It feels really good. It doesn't feel weird on your hands. And this just saves so much money. Again, I don't like dirty hair. I'm not someone who can get away with that. So I use so much dry shampoo. So for me, this is a killer solution. All right, now let's do these heatless curls. I got these incredibly beautiful curls with no heat and no product. So start off by deciding how you want to part your hair. Today I'm gonna do mine on a side part. So I part the front and the side, but then split the back into 2 sections evenly, just like you do when you're braiding your hair. So you want 2 sections here. Now to create these heatless curls, we're gonna use a robe tie. So grab your robe tie and fold it in half, finding the center. Put the center at your crown, and you don't want it forward like this. You kind of want to pull it back at least 2 inches into your crown. Now divide your hair into and put one side that you're not doing first in a scrunchie, not only getting that hair out of the way, but also kind of creating some tension so you can pull against the robe tie on the other side. The thicker the pieces that you create, the thicker the sections, the sort of looser the waves will be. The tighter, the smaller, more tendril-like curls you're gonna get. So you can see I created a section from the front of my forehead all the way back to the center of my hair. It's about a 2-inch section, and then I divide that section into two with the robe tie in the middle. So a section in the back and a section in the front and the robe tie in the center. Now take that front section and you're gonna go up over the robe tie, back under the bottom the way it came. So now it's back in the front. Now take that back hair section, go up over the robe tie, back under the bottom, and back the way it came. So all of the pieces that are sort of face framing are gonna go away from your face, and the ones that are in the back are gonna go towards your face. As you work your way down, you're gonna add in more hair into each section. So just grab another 2-inch chunk, add it in to your original piece so that it's a thicker piece, and again, up over the top and under the bottom. Same with the back. Now these pieces do not need to be even, they don't need to be uniform. This is a super forgiving process. All that you wanna do is work your way down, adding in a little bit more hair as you go until you grab that very last section, and now you're just gonna wrap. Again, it's literally going like in a circle, up and over, up and over, up and over, but because you have two sections, they're crisscrossing. So this looks almost like I'm braiding, but I'm not. I'm just wrapping it around. Once you get to the very bottom, I like using a scrunchie instead of a regular hair tie because I think that it prevents any kind of indentation and it prevents any cleanup that you're gonna need to do later. I also like to leave about the last like 1.5 to 2 inches out because I like kind of straight ends. It gives it more of a beachy look. So again, same thing. Grab your finger from the front of your forehead to the center part in the back and create about a 2-inch section. Split it into two, up over the top, back under the bottom, grabbing more hair as you go until you get to the very bottom. Keep looping it around and around, and then again, a scrunchie to hold it in place, preventing any indentation. If you do have any indentation, you can always use your curling iron or flat iron to clean it up, but I like to try to make this no heat completely. I lost a little section there, so I could unravel it, or you can just wrap that section and kind of stuff it into the scrunchie. So now I'm very sexy and ready to go. One option here that you could do is wrap this up over your head and tie it in kind of like a babushka style, but I don't like that look. I like it down. So now I'm just gonna sleep on it. So I woke up, did my makeup, but you can see I've got that fuzzy hair from sleeping on it. It's no problem. When it comes out, it's still gonna look really beautiful. So you can see this is what it's like when I wake up. So basically I take out my scrunchies and now you're gonna start unwrapping the hair around the robe tie, basically like reversing the process. So going exactly backwards from the way that you did, starting on the bottom and working your way up. Do not pull out the robe tie or it's gonna tangle up your hair. Pull each curl, look at that sucker. Oh my God. Pull each curl out, and what you're gonna end up getting are these like gorgeous, shiny, wavy tendrils. It is so pretty, and you guys, this lasts. It's gonna fade a little bit throughout the day, but you're gonna end up with these amazing volume and curls. So what I always recommend doing is using your fingers to sort of like separate the curls from themselves. I don't wanna brush it out. I just wanna use my fingers, kind of get in there, open them up so that they get more like voluminous and a little bit softer. And once you get the overall look, I would hairspray it. So now I kind of like to tilt my head down whenever I hairspray because it gives me more volume. So tilt, spray, do the other side. Look at that. So pretty. Can you believe this is zero heat? I just love it so much. You can tease it a little bit if you want. It's really up to you, but you can see the curls are really beautiful. And like I said, they last.
It works.
All right, now let's show you how to cover these little bald spots. For anything like me, you get them when you put your hair up and it's super annoying. So I just hate the way they look. I feel like they're really distracting, especially on camera. And so I like to fill them in, but the products that are meant for this are actually really expensive. So a great hack is just to use an eyeshadow. All you need is an eyeshadow that matches the color of your hair and a small little eyeshadow brush. You don't need a special dispenser. You don't need those special fibers, anything like that. Really, it all comes down to a sort of a fluffy brush that you can maneuver and a color that works for you. I always recommend starting further back in the hairline first. Focus on the areas that are furthest away from your face, make those really saturated, and then you can kind of buff in the areas that are closest to your hairline. This also works if you've got thinning hair and you can see your scalp when your hair is up. Just having your hair up and seeing the scalp is not a good look. It kind of just makes your hair look thin, even if it's not. So filling it in and making sure that you feel like a nice saturation of color is great. And you can see it's really easy. It doesn't need to be super dark. Just shadowing it in so that you don't see that skin is all that you need. And it really gives you the appearance of having fuller hair and a stronger hairline. That's it. Super easy and super inexpensive. All right, for our last one, I'm gonna show you how you can take like air-dried, lifeless hair and give it a beautiful sort of faux blowout. Now, this is my hair when it air dries. It's kind of straight, but it's got a wave to it. It's sort of dull. It's not very shiny. It doesn't have any volume. It's just like bleh. So in order to do this, I actually use my flat iron. This is my Lange flat iron. I really like it because it's got these floating tiles, so it doesn't let your hair get caught or snagged underneath. The tiles are also titanium, which makes them super shiny. It makes your hair super shiny. I'll link it below. But basically the most important thing you need here is an extra large round brush. What this is gonna do is it's not only going to smooth out and brush each section of hair before you flat iron it, but it's gonna follow the flat iron, smoothing out and creating shape and volume and lift. I do about 5 quick passes and then I hold it in place. I ended up switching my shirt because I felt like my dark hair was getting lost. I thought you could see it a little better. But you flat iron, flat iron, flat iron, always leading and following the flat iron with the round brush, and then hold on your last one. You'll see here that piece by the ear. Do you see how much volume that gives it? Normally when you just flat iron your hair, you just get kind of super straight, lifeless hair. This gives you a lot of shine and a lot of volume, which is why it kind of mimics that repetitive motion of a blowout. My hair is pretty straight, so doing a full blowout is kind of a waste of heat on my hair. So this is a really great thing to do when your hair is kind of looking straight, but it doesn't have a lot of beautiful shape. You can see how much shine it gives it. It really makes all the difference in the world. When you're done with the flat iron, you can go in and tease it to give it a little bit more volume. But look at that. It's shiny, it's slinky, it's voluminous, but it's a flat iron. One of the things that I want to talk about is an eyelash serum. There are a ton of different brands, so if you have one that you love or that a friend recommended, go for it. I have one by Rodan & Fields called Lash Boost. This is what I'll say about it. It works like a charm for the first 3 months. Super strong. I did 1 week of using it. They grew so much that then it was like once a week for touch-ups, if that. It does lose its effectiveness after a little while. So I've now had it for about 6 months. I would say now if I really want growth, I have to use it every day. It just isn't as effective as it was that first 3 months, but it 1000% works. Something like that is really awesome. I will link this one down below, but again, whatever brand you like, go for it. Another thing that I think is really great is a purple or blue shampoo. If you have blonde or brown hair, this is great. I can't attest to redheads. I don't think this would make any sense for redheads, and probably not for black hair either. But if you're a blonde or a brunette, all those shades in between, your hair can get a little brassy. So a blue or a purple shampoo that you leave on for like 5 minutes cuts out that brassiness and brings back a cooler tone. So for blondes, it brings back that really pretty, like clean, beigey color blonde, as opposed to like a yellowy orange blonde. So a blue shampoo is a great way of toning your hair at home without needing to go into the salon. Again, number one, you might not be able to, but number two, it's really expensive. So get a blue shampoo. This one is by Fanola. There's also one by Unite, which I really like. The last one for hair again, these guys I got on Instagram, geez. I got on Amazon. It's called, I don't know if it's like Purador or Purador or whatever. It had like 1 million good reviews on Amazon and I really, really like it. It's an anti-thinning shampoo. It's totally natural, no sulfate, so it's not gonna strip your color. But I will say that I notice a big difference, like at the time I'm using it. Like for example, when I'm washing my hair, I don't notice as much hair coming off. Like normally when I wash my hair, I've got to kind of pull some and throw it down the drain. So your hair can stay thicker and grow longer because it's staying in your head for a longer chunk of time before it's sort of doing its natural shedding process. Okay, I think that's it. Gosh, I hope that this video was helpful. These are really, really fun things that I literally do all the time. I can attest to them. They work, they last, they hold. And a reminder, if you guys want to grab that Kenzie, go to kenzie.com and you can use my code Orly50. It's going to take an extra 50 bucks off. If you guys liked this video, I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to incorporate some more beauty videos into this channel because I get so many requests for them and I do them on my Instagram all the time. Why not do them here? Why not do them here? So share it with a friend and take a look at all those products down below if there's anything that you think you might like. They're so great. I will see you guys next week. I have an amazing fashion video coming up next week that I can't wait to share with you. I've been working on it all week. So I hope that you guys love it and I'll see you then. Mwah! Have a beautiful week.